Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Your boy's name is Marcus of the Rodent, and today we're doing another 9 cars that nobody talks about but should, because you guys literally loved the video last week and I'm super happy to see that. A new series for the channel. We can do so many of these, so I'm super excited. Today, it's not just any Joe Schmo random ones. No, it's community choices. You guys left a bunch of comments of some good cars to include in the next one, so I got 9 of them and we're going to talk about them. If you guys want to see yours in the next video, then leave a comment down below. It's going to be of JDM ones, so make sure you leave a JDM car. Also guys, we're doing a giveaway. All right, we're doing a giveaway, and here all you have to do, it's completely bone stock free. All right, it's completely free and you get a SmoothStance t-shirt from it. And all you got to do is make sure you're subscribed to the channel, make sure you follow me at ss.marky on Instagram, and comment down below your Instagram name. Every day from today until Friday that you comment your Instagram name down below is one more entry. Okay, so if you want more entries, keep watching the videos this week. We're picking the winner on Sunday, by the way. Let's get right into the video. I know I wasted a lot of your time and I'm sorry. Alrighty, so number 9 is by Kid Dream Chaser Did It, and he says the 2005 Subaru Legacy GT, which comes with a 2.5 liter turbocharged flat 4 that makes 250 horsepower, and the car was all-wheel drive, of course, and to my surprise, that horsepower number is actually higher than the Subaru WRX of the time, so it's a better WRX. And remember that before the Impreza WRX came along, the Legacy is what was killing the game in the rally racing scene. So yes, the WRX is a little bit better for rally because they were just you know what, this Legacy's good, but we can do better. And so they made the WRX. But to be honest with you, they're pretty much the same damn car. And it seems to me that the Legacy GT is actually a faster one. So if you actually aren't going to be rally racing and you just want some speed, go with the Legacy, man. It's freaking weird. I never thought I'd be saying that, but a Legacy GT is better than the freaking WRX. On top of just being quick, the car actually looks pretty damn good too. Now, I will be the first to say that I don't think it looks better than the WRX, but it still is a cool looking car for sure. Number 8 is by You Say It, I Draw It, and it's the Scion XB. I'm assuming he's talking about the first generation, so we're going to be talking about the first generation. And it comes with a laughably small 1.5 liter inline 4 that makes a laughably small 104 horsepower, and it was front wheel drive. And no, this car is by no means a race car, and if you think it is, you got to look at race cars a little bit differently. It's a freaking cube, but it is the epitome of a hot boy mobile. The car is just, it's hilarious, and seeing these things absolutely slammed on the ground with massive amounts of camber is even funnier. Just remember that the car has a huge hate club around it too, and do not go into these cars if you're somebody who gets offended easily, and you'll be fine. But if you get offended easily, do not pick up one of these because people will make fun of you. They're kind of, let's face it, they're kind of a joke. But to be honest, when done right, or I guess you can say wrong, because it's not what normal people do to their cars, I can't help but smile at the builds. It brings a smile to my face. I would never do it in a million years, but it is awesome. It's something that's so different, and I love that. Number 7 is by Fabian Rosen. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, buddy, but it's the Acura Legend, and it comes with a 3.2 liter V6 that makes 230 horsepower, and it was front wheel drive. And now listen, this might not be underrated for you. You either know this car and you know everything about it and you love it, or you know absolutely nothing about the car. And to be honest, it seems that more people know nothing about it, so let me let you in on a little secret, baby. The car on the outside was nothing special, and nowadays, honestly, the inside isn't anything special either. But when it came out, it had a bunch of these industry firsts under its belt. It was the first Honda V6. It was much larger than any Honda cars to ever come out. And most importantly, it was one of the first Acuras to ever exist. I think it was the first Acura, the only other one being the Integra, which was already a Honda anyway, so it's not really its own car. It was just rebadged as an Acura to be sold in the States. But yeah, it was pretty much the first ever Acura to ever come out, and Acura makes some insanely cool cars nowadays besides the new Integra. You can throw that out, Acura, we don't want it. The car was just something that nobody saw coming, and nowadays people like driving pieces of history. Number 6 is by Obito Jr., and it is the 10th generation Ford Thunderbird, which comes with a 4.6 liter V8 that makes a pretty small 205 horsepower while being rear wheel drive. That's right, this little thing was a rear-wheel drive V8 muscle car that just went completely under everybody's radar. Yes, the looks aren't really there, but it doesn't look bad. It's not like it's an ugly car. It's not a good looking car either. It's just a normal looking car. And people are modifying LS400s nowadays. And guys, an LS400 stock is not a good looking car. Okay, if you put as much work as you put into an LS400 into one of these Thunderbirds, it would look sick. And it has a V8 in it. Yes, that V8 makes pretty small horsepower numbers, but so were the Mustangs of the time, since they were going through a gas crisis. Now, to be honest, I knew nothing about this car before he commented, and after looking them up and doing a little bit of research on them, I love them. They are so underrated, and I want to see one built as like a drift car, stance car. I need to see it happen, but I'm not going to do it myself. But somebody please buy a 10th Gen 4 Thunderbird and slam it and then swing it. Number 5 is by Driftguy 806, and it is the Porsche 944, which comes with a 2.5 liter turbocharged inline 4 that makes 220 horsepower, and it was rear wheel drive, baby, and it had pop-up headlights. Who doesn't like the pop-up headlights, man? I love pop-up headlights. I love these cars, but they aren't really like talked about, especially not compared to other Porsches. I mean, other Porsches are just friggin', they're nowhere near other Porsches in terms of popularity. They do have a small cult following behind them, but so does like every car. And when you really think of it, the following should be huge for them. They did not have the highest horsepower and they did not have the best cornering, but they weren't trying to be the best Porsche. They just decided they wanted to have a fun little car for people to actually be able to afford on a normal salary without looking like just a boring sedan, and you're just gonna get bored of it easily. And I love that. That's exactly what they did. They built a car for the average consumer that's still going to be fun, and it is such a cool car. I love what they did with the 944, and I think everybody should give them a chance. On top of that, these cars can look really, really good if you modify them. Number 4 is by Fusilier 02. I don't know how to pronounce your name, man. I'm sorry. But it is the BMW M235i, which comes with a 3 liter turbocharged inline 6 that makes 322 horsepower, and it was available as both a rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive car. And they looked honestly just like a normal M2. And who doesn't like the looks of the M2? People always here's the problem. People always look at like the top of the line BMWs and they forget about the little guys who are still meant to be a fun car, but just for a very, very, very cheaper price tag. And that's exactly what's happening with the M235i. Sure, they do not have the biggest support for them compared to the actual M2, but they also don't have like no mods available to them either. You can still tune them, you can still modify them. There's still a fun BMW. Since when has BMWs not become a fun car? They're awesome, dude. I love them. 3rd place is by ya boy, Margus Sokk. Once again, guys, I'm sorry about these names, but it is the Mark III Volkswagen Golf GTI, which comes with a 2.8 liter V6 that makes a nice 172 horsepower, and it was front-wheel drive as always because it's a Volkswagen and they always make their cars front-wheel drive. But this one came with a freaking V6, dude. What? I love it when Volkswagen used to make like unique GTIs. Now they just slap the same GTI engine in it as last generation and they add 5 horsepower and call it a new generation. But this one was so special. The engine in it is a freaking VR6, which is one of the best tuning engines out there. They can make so much power for so dirt cheap, and they're going to do it reliably. Now, yes, it is an older car, so getting like 1,000 horsepower with stock internals is going to be tough, but getting there with a turbo and touching a little bit of the inside bits, a little bit of the guts of the car is not going to be that tough. 2nd place is by Miguel Robles. It's the 7th gen Honda Accord. I'm assuming he means coupe, but honestly they both look pretty good. But the car comes with a 3 liter V6 that makes a nice 244 horsepower, and it was front wheel drive, of course, because it's a Honda, and Honda does those things all the freaking time. But pay attention to that number I said. 244 horsepower from a Honda. A stock Honda with 244 horsepower. And you can get one for under $5,000 all day, every day. I mean, come on, man. What is there not to love about the car? It is truly one of the world's 7 wonders why people don't love the Accords more than they actually do. They're so underrated compared to Civics. They also have a bit of like a cult following behind them too, so if you're ever like stuck, which you won't be since it's a Honda and they're super easy to work on, the community will be there to help you. And the aftermarket support is massive too, because it's a Honda. Okay, I've said it before, I'm gonna keep saying it. It's a Honda. Everything about the car screams, tuner, tune me, please tune me, give me 1,000 horsepower, I can't drive like this. I think they're one of the coolest daily drivers out there that you can have, to be honest, and I love that he mentioned this. First place is by Caleb A. That one I can pronounce, that's pretty easy. And it's none other than the Toyota Crown Comfort XS10. And this car comes with a 2.4 liter inline 4 that makes a hilarious 84 horsepower, and it was front wheel drive, I believe, but I can't find much on the car. I would guess, since it's a commuter car, that it is front wheel drive though, but it could be rear wheel drive, because I know that some of those old sedans were rear wheel drive just because it was easier to make them. So I don't know, but listen, I put this car first because I learned about a car that I never heard about that apparently is just like a completely basic, boring car to the rest of the world. And I love that. These cars are seen everywhere, and to be honest with you, they're honestly nothing special. They're just a base model Toyota that can get you to point A to point B on time and reliably. But I love them, and I do not know why. I think it's just because of the whole, you know, forbidden fruit thing that, you know, we can't have them in America, and I've never heard of them before. And so I'm like, wow, that's really cool. I'm sure if they were like a normal Camry over here in America, I probably wouldn't like them. But they also did come with a freaking supercharged version that was called the GTZ, I think it's, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I think it's called the GTZ. And so, you know, there's a little bit of potential under that engine. So if they were putting superchargers on it, then you know that they meant for that car to go a little bit fast. Now I don't know why I decided to put this first, but I just think it's a car that's so well known to the rest of the world that we need to know it over here in the States. And most of my following is from people in the United States, so I had to put it first so you guys know about the freaking Toyota Crown Comfort, because this car is cool. But that is going to be the end of today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to like, comment another video you guys want to see down below, and subscribe to the channel for more. Also, don't forget to partake in the giveaway for a free SmoothStance t-shirt. All you got to do is follow me on Instagram, subscribe to the channel, and comment your Instagram name down below. Do it every day from today until Friday to get yourself one entry, and on Sunday we will be picking the winner. I hope you guys are excited for that. Also, I forgot to mention in the beginning, because we are running out of time very quickly, that if you want to purchase any hats, shirts, or shorts to support the channel even more than you already are, head on over to www.smoothstance.com/shop. We got deals for the low. They're pretty cheap. I'm trying to keep, you know, budgets in mind, so they're pretty cheap, but they're not like super cheap, but they're pretty cheap. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. That's what on you. Have a nice night.